Hola familia. This week, there's not a follow-up from the last project because I think there's not much to say about that. It ends pretty good, but there was a couple of questions about the products I apply. One of them was about sanding sealer. Most of us knows it's a very common product. I like to use a water-based because it's fast drying, is no odor at all, is clean to apply, but it's not the only one, of course. Depending on which kind of piece we are working on, it will drive us to decide which finish we use, or at least this is the idea of all of this. So in another, and one of the questions was which one I use. Well, I was using Minwax, but this is a brand. This one I have just bought in Ace hardware store, which is not expensive and is clear, dries in 30 minutes, water-based. What can I say? It's sanding sealer. Anyone works. But it's not the only one, as I said. Okay, the regular shellac that we use for mixes and everything does the same job, or a very, very close job. It works as sanding sealer, but in a different way. The shellac is an open grain sealer. I don't know how to explain it in English, but it's a little bit different. The thing is, I prefer the shellac mixed with anything else. Why? Because with the shellac as base, we can achieve really good results mixing it with boiled linseed oil and carnauba wax, and we make a friction polish that is possibly one of my favorite finishes because of I can apply it straight on the lathe and get the results within seconds and within minutes. And I know that I'm sealing the wood correctly, is feed with the oil, and the shine that I get is gonna last for a long time because, and this is one of the things that a lot of people don't know, the melt point for the beeswax is 35 centigrades or degrees. The melting point of the carnauba wax is 85. This is why when we touch the beeswax, we melt it a little bit because we are usually 36.5, 37 centigrades our bodies, and the melting point of the beeswax is lower. But the carnauba wax is the natural one with the highest melting point, which is 85. This means that when we make the friction polish, the heat we get with the piece of paper melt the wax into the grain of the wood, and then when we stop, it comes again solid, and last you can touch it and you don't mark it because you don't melt it. Why? Well, right? But these 80 degrees are too much to do it. You can burn your fingers very easy. So this is why we add a little bit of beeswax to the mix to lower the melting point. This kind of friction polish finishes are very good, but it's not for all. There are pieces that deserves a really, really perfect glossy lacquer finish, like most vessels. The plate we did, in this case, I didn't think that that's the finish. This is why I use the sanding sealer, and then I apply wipe-on poly. The wipe-on poly is too thin, and you can still actually not just see but touch the grain of the wood. Is good enough because it's polyurethane, so it's good enough to have this touch, but to have the shine. Let's say it's a middle step in between the wax and the lacquer is in the middle. So it's not much more about that. I mean, you can do your own sealer and wipe on poly, mixing the polyurethane lacquer, cutting it in half, 50-50 with lacquer thinner or mineral spirits, and you will have something that works very well. I use it for a long time, seals very well, and I use it as a base for a final wax. All of this depends on the time you want to expend finishing your piece. If you don't have time problems, you can use whatever. But if you are working as me in an environment that I have to remove everything here because I have to storage the car, and about the work, I don't have days and days to stay with the pieces. Usually, I like to use the sanding sealer and then the weapon poly, or straight on use the friction polish I do. By the way, any friction polish, because you can finish the piece in within minutes, and it's not always the best. But if you really want to have a piece with the better quality possible, possibly you are going to go for sanding sealer, at least 2 or 3 coats, and then a proper polyurethane lacquer. This is going to be I think the finish that is going to last longer, and then a buffing. So we are talking about a process that takes days or weeks, and but you are going to get the best quality. This is what it is. So out of that, I want to thank a couple of new Patreons that arrived to the channel. Was Francisco, Juan, Lazaro, Ivan, and Eduardo. And after say all of this, we are going to go straight on for the suggestions of this week. It's going to be 3 as always. The first one is a well-known woodturner. She is Barbara Dill. I hope I'm pronouncing right. The last name is Dill. Well, she's well known because her off-center turning. She did really marvelous pieces in this, and I think was inspiration for most of us, or for at least for me, because I saw her work a while ago, and I couldn't avoid to, train to do something near. Of course, I didn't, but I didn't because she is really very good in this. So I'm gonna link as a short video making an off-center goblet, but I suggest you to check the other videos from her, because you are gonna really see a very good approach to the technique and very well explained. And she makes this, let's say, a little bit difficult task, she make it looks easy. You will love it. The second one is another well-known woodturner, is Mike Walt. Mike Walt, at the beginning was known, or when I know him was at the beginning of his channel, and he made wonderful goblets with an amazing finish. But in this case, it's not a goblet where I'm showing you. This time it's a bowl emerging from a square block of wood that impressed me when I saw it, and I had it on the to-do list, and it's going to be there for a while. I'm sorry, Mike, I have no time. And you will love it, because the effect or the look of it is amazing. It's one of these pieces that the people will ask themselves, if not asking you, how you did it, how that is possible. Well, that's the job. Amazing. You will enjoy it. And the last one of them is for a guy called Kevin Featherhoof. This is not a new technique. This is not a new piece. But the approach, or let's say the result, is very beautiful with a turquoise inlay. It's amazing, so you're gonna like it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. So it's in two parts. I'm gonna link you to the first part, then the second part will show up in your right row, right? So let's say like that. I hope you enjoy it. So if you have any comments or suggestions or whatever, just leave it down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to help the channel, you have a Patreon link down as well. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back with you on Tuesday with, I don't know, let's see. See you later.